Nike, we need to talk about Caitlin Clark. Let's you and me talk about Caitlin Clark since you refuse to talk about Caitlin Clark. And I care deeply about you. I spent over a decade in your marketing organization. I spent several years trying to get into your organization. And it's been 3 years since I left your company. I'm just here as a friend. I care about you. I want to show you two different charts here. One, your stock price since 2021. It is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this.
Caitlin Clark's Nike deal had fans thinking she was swimming in cash like Scrooge McDuck. But then a former Nike employee just spilled the tea. And let's just say it's less just do it and more just got played. Was Caitlin's contract a slam dunk or a sneaky fast break the other way? Get ready, because this behind-the-scenes bombshell will make you side-eye every swoosh you see. And trust me, the truth ain't wearing limited edition sneakers.
All right, black and white sports supporters. Well, something very interesting happened. Caitlin Clark's agent has issued a statement, put some comments out there while speaking at this Breaking Barriers Summit that they're having, I guess, by way of Front Office Sports. Now, I made a video the other day because I got to looking around, and much to my surprise, even I thought Nike would have put something out the other day that was either pumping up or firing us up regarding Caitlin Clark's return to Iowa City. They didn't put out shit. Nike basketball or Nike. Nothing on social media.
So, somewhere in a corporate boardroom filled with recycled air and even more recycled ideas, a Nike executive probably just nodded at a pie chart and said, let's make another shoe for someone who isn't Caitlin Clark. Genius, right? And thus, another historic moment in marketing malpractice was born.
Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation.
Because let's be honest, Caitlin Clark is to women's basketball what Beyonce is to literally anything she touches. She's not just elite. She's not just generational. She is the meteor that lit up the entire basketball landscape, burned half the playbook, and still had enough left to drop a logo 3 while everyone else was figuring out how to dribble without tripping.
Truth finally came out. Caitlin Clark voted on by general managers, the best point guard, the best shooting guard, and the singular player they would start the franchise with. In the weird, insular WNBA, this has been a real struggle. You know the truth. And there's these people who are fans of indie bands, international soccer, and the WNBA. They have this gatekeeping mentality. We'll tell you who's great. Colin, I was watching the WNBA long before Caitlin Clark. Well, yeah, it's not my problem your social life was boring. I'm not going to apologize for watching it when it got really interesting. She's packing now larger arenas. She's taking...
So what does Nike, the self-declared sneaker deity of athletic sponsorship, do with this absolute comet of a player? Well, they squint at her greatness like they need prescription eyewear and decide to do nothing. No fanfare, no iconic campaign, no billion-dollar "this is our queen" rollout. Not even a damn commercial with an overdramatic piano soundtrack. Just meh. Like she's a solid bench contributor for a Latvian U18 team, not the single most electrifying figure to hit women's sports in decades.
Okay, so this is the article that he was talking about. I have just a piece of it. He was basically asking a question and then answering it, right? So it says, is it because Nike is too woke? He said, perhaps, but I think it's paralysis by analysis. I also think that inside the bubble, you can't see clearly. When you're too close to the business, sometimes you don't appreciate what's going on in the wider circle of the industry.
Meanwhile, across the brand department floor, probably right next to the "Here's How We Messed Up Simone Biles" folder, they're busy designing a signature shoe for Angel Reese. Yes, that Angel Reese. The one whose career highlight so far is managing to go viral for acting tough while her team gets blown out like a $2.00 candle in a Chicago windstorm. Apparently, if you wave your hand in someone's face after a win and then rack up double-digit losses, Nike will not only give you a shoe, they'll send you a fruit basket.
I realize tomorrow we are going to get a Kobe Protro, apparently. I haven't heard much about it. It's going to be $190. Very few people will be able to get it, and that will be about a year after you have signed her and after she won Rookie of the Year. This is so confusing to me. I am so perplexed. I wrote two.
It's almost comical. Caitlin Clark breaks Kelsey Plum's all-time scoring record. Mind you, the Kelsey freaking Plum record. She redefines what a guard can do, shifts the geometry of every defense, and draws TV ratings higher than most NBA games. You'd think Nike would see that and say, oh hey, maybe we should not treat her like she's on a two-way contract from the Glee League. But no, they treat her like she wandered in off the street asking for free socks. Caitlin should have dropped Nike faster than her release on a contested three. Just yeet that contract straight into the recycling bin and let Adidas, Puma, or even Skechers fight to the death for the privilege of working with her. Because let's be real, New Balance would build a temple in her honor. Adidas would cancel all future collabs and name a whole department after her, and Puma would legally change its name to Caitlin Clark Athletics and call it a tax write-off.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
She said it's not just one person, it's both of us. Angels team, right, in Chicago. And their attendance, 6,000, 6,000, 12,000, 9,000, 8,000, 8,000, and then 17,000. Whoa, why was it 17,000? Who she play? Who you think she played?
But Nike? Nike took one look at the most electric college player of our time and said, let's just wait it out. Maybe her hype will fizzle. That's the branding equivalent of turning down Beyonce to sponsor the backup harmonica player in a local jazz band. Caitlin Clark is the moment, and Nike is acting like she's just another signature away from irrelevance. Let's rewind. This woman filled every arena she touched. She turned Iowa, yes, Iowa, into a primetime TV slot. She dropped 40 bombs on top 5 teams like she was practicing layups. She hit threes from the parking lot. She became a one-woman SportsCenter reel. The WNBA basically started putting games on network television because of her. She's got grandmas in the Midwest watching full games again. She's got toddlers yelling Caitlin every time they toss a plastic ball into a laundry hamper. And Nike's response? Let's wait and see if Angel Reese wants another pastel colorway for her warm-ups.
Caitlin Clark, obviously. Nike have screwed Caitlin Clark. Nike have screwed Caitlin Clark, and this is the first topic I want to talk about live on stream. But Nike have absolutely screwed Caitlin Clark.
They didn't even try to fake it. No early rollout, no Super Bowl ad, no viral campaign with kids reenacting her buzzer beaters. Meanwhile, Reese gets a personal stylist, a photo shoot, and a shoe that looks like it was made by Willy Wonka's social media intern. Caitlin Clark gets silence. It's like she's working on a 10-day endorsement deal with the ghost of Blockbuster. And it's not like Caitlin is some camera-shy recluse hiding from the spotlight. She is the spotlight. She makes the media chase her down the tunnel like she's Taylor Swift and they're on a TMZ payroll. She's got poise, charisma, presence, and oh yeah, she can hoop circles around 90% of the league while blindfolded and humming the SportsCenter theme song. This is the athlete that brands attract me both from the outside before I get inside, and the SportsCenter theme song before I do. Except Nike, apparently, who'd rather roll out special socks for the guy who runs the timeout music. Maybe they think being effortlessly dominant, graceful under pressure, and wildly marketable isn't enough. Maybe she needed to throw a temper tantrum on TikTok or lose by 30 and flex afterward to get their attention, because clearly nothing says elite like taunting opponents while losing. That's the real moneymaker now, right?
Now, you would think with this being such a big game for Caitlin, her returning to her alumni in Iowa and her hitting that massive logo 3, the logo 3 during the game, that some of her sponsors would want to show her support on social media, do any sort of marketing to uplift her and uplift their brand. And one who did do that was Gatorade. They tweeted a photo of her and they said, "Real home court advantage. Welcome back to Iowa, Caitlin Clark." Now, one of her lead sponsors that was noticeably quiet yesterday was Nike. And a lot of people were tweeting about this. They were wondering, why isn't Nike and Nike basketball, why are none of their accounts saying anything about this? Yes, it's a preseason.
Caitlin Clark doesn't need Nike. Nike needs her. And the fact that this still needs to be said shows just how far removed the swoosh has gotten from understanding the moment. This isn't 1996. We're not in the Michael Jordan golden age anymore. You don't get to sit back and coast off legacy while fumbling today's actual stars like a freshman point guard in the clutch. Caitlin was their layup, their wide open, nobody within 10 feet layup, and somehow they bricked it off the backboard. It's not even just disrespectful, it's stupid. From a business standpoint, Caitlin Clark could sell ice to a snowman. She could market Crocs to NBA executives. If she signed with New Balance tomorrow, they'd become the most relevant sneaker brand in sports within 48 hours. Because people don't follow shoes anymore, they follow people. And right now, the person in women's basketball is Caitlin freaking Clark. She doesn't need some over-designed, overpriced, underperforming shoe. Give her a clean, sharp silhouette, a logo with a shooting hand and a trail of fire. Drop it with her signature pull-up pose and some Steph Curry tears in the background. Boom. Instant classic. Resellers crying, kids camping outside stores, moms fighting in parking lots. That's the Caitlin Clark effect.
Nike struck absolute gold when they signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal. So why in the world are they ignoring her?
Instead, Nike decided to focus on the drama queens and post-game philosophers, the ones who toss shade in pressers but drop 2 points and 3 turnovers in the box score. They're selling sizzle with no steak, flash with no fire. Meanwhile, Caitlin's out here grilling the entire league, and Nike can't even be bothered to light the charcoal. This isn't just a missed opportunity, it's a full-on choke job, the kind that gets you benched in the fourth quarter. The kind that has every other brand salivating like wolves outside the Nike fortress, whispering, "She's unhappy. Let's pounce." And she should let them. Caitlin Clark should walk into Adidas HQ like a queen returning to her rightful throne. She should let New Balance offer her an equity deal, a sneaker museum, and her own design team made entirely of Iowa superfans. She should let Under Armour build her a statue outside their headquarters with a gold-plated shot clock counting down her greatness. Because if Nike can't figure out how to market Caitlin Clark, they need to shut the whole operation down and become a yoga mat company. But don't worry, they'll probably make it up to her. They'll wait until she drops 50 on a playoff team, breaks another record, wins MVP, and becomes the face of American basketball. Then they'll send her a hoodie, maybe even a coupon.
Things I done seen in my entire life. It don't make no sense. See, the problem Nike is this. Nike, you, other endorsement companies, other coaches, other GMs, you guys don't dictate to us who the face of the league is. The consumer does that. The viewer does that. That's who does that. And the viewers and the consumers are telling you that
Caitlin Clark has become the face of the WNBA, and not by corporate design, but by overwhelming fan support, TV ratings, and record-breaking performances. Yet, as she continues to dominate headlines, sell out arenas, and rack up viral highlights like her recent 36-foot Logo 3 in Iowa, one of her biggest sponsors, Nike.
The disrespect isn't even subtle anymore, it's scripted. If Caitlin were a walking controversy with more followers than field goals, they'd already be filming a docuseries. But because she's great, because she's consistent, humble, clutch, and not busy chasing clout on social media, she's treated like a novelty act, a sideshow, like, oh wow, look at her go, let's circle back in Q4. No, you missed your chance in Q1, and now Puma's got her on line 2. There's still time, barely, but Caitlin shouldn't wait. Nike had their shot, they didn't just miss. They ignored the buzzer entirely. Caitlin Clark deserves better. She deserves a brand that sees her not just as a paycheck, but as the entire future of women's sports. And if Nike can't see that, maybe they should ask one of their former employees. Apparently, they've been spilling the truth faster than Caitlin dropped a fender. Go ahead, Caitlin. Drop the swoosh. Grab the stripes, lace up the NBs, or better yet, make your own damn brand. Call it Logo Range. The slogan? Shoot from anywhere, be seen everywhere. Let Nike explain that to their shareholders.
She's signing an 8-year, $28 million Nike deal, but for some people it caused controversy since they're arguing that there are other WNBA players already in the league who don't even have a deal like that. So just in general, what do you guys think about the discourse between that? And then what do you guys think of the major deal that she is receiving?
Yeah, I think anyone's upset with Caitlin Clark's deal doesn't understand the publicity that's on the line here. When you think of being in front of a national camera for 36 games, almost back to back, That type of promotion, you would have to pay top dollar for it.
And here's the kicker. Caitlin Clark could leave Nike tomorrow and not lose a single fan, follower, or ounce of influence. In fact, it might have the opposite effect. People love an underdog story, but they worship a well-timed walkout. Imagine the headlines. Clark ditches Nike after cold shoulder, followed immediately by a bidding war that makes Elon Musk's Twitter deal look like a bake sale. It would be the most poetic brand breakup since Jordan left the Wizard. Except this time, the player's still in her prime, dropping triple doubles while smiling like it's recess. Meanwhile, Nike will pretend to be confused, as if their decades of experience in sports branding didn't give them even the slightest clue about who Caitlin Clark is. Like, what exactly were they waiting for? A handshake from Oprah? A comet shaped like a basketball? A neon sign that says, "Give this woman a shoe"? They had the basketball equivalent of lightning in a bottle and decided to screw the cap on tighter. It's not even about being first. It's about being right. And right now, Nike is wronger than a toddler trying to play chess. This is the same company that built an empire on knowing when to invest in greatness early. They gave LeBron a deal before he had facial hair. They turned Serena into a global icon while she was still smashing rackets in juniors. But Caitlin? Nah, too risky. Better to hold off and see if she can do something really special. Like invent the sport of basketball from scratch.
As soon as it was announced that Caitlin Clark got the shoe deal, by the way, who the hell leaked how much Caitlin Clark was getting paid in the shoe deal? Like, we can never forget. We don't know what anyone else is getting paid. We don't know what anyone else is getting paid, but we know what Caitlin Clark got paid. Who leaked that? Who leaked that?
Truth is, Caitlin Clark has become too big to ignore. And yet Nike's acting like they're waiting on her to complete a 3-year unpaid internship. You don't get to lowball someone who is the economy of women's basketball. You don't get to sideline a phenom and then expect applause when you send her a care package, especially when brands like Adidas are already sketching shoe molds in her silhouette and scribbling "the future" on every pitch deck. At this point, even Crocs could give her a better deal. Imagine it. Foam-clad dominance with every step a gentle squeak of defiance. And guess what? People would still buy it. Not because of the shoe, because of her. Because Caitlin Clark sells excellence. She markets firepower. She embodies what every kid with a ball in their hand dreams of being. Unstoppable, magnetic, unbothered by the noise.
It seems that everybody is smelling the coffee. Most people are smelling the coffee and coming to the realization that Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. Most people are coming to the realization that she is the best thing since pants with pockets, the best thing since sliced bread. Most people are coming to that realization. Everybody but a few.
Nike's failure isn't just about missing a marketing opportunity. It's about misreading a cultural shift. Women's sports aren't emerging, they're erupting. And Caitlin is the lava, the face, the force. Brands should be building cathedrals around her image, not sending her emails asking if she can come in for a quick collab brainstorm. If they're not careful, this will be Nike's blockbuster turned down Netflix moment. The type of blunder MBA students will study in How to Fumble the Bag 101. And when Caitlin Clark eventually signs with a company that actually respects her, supports her, and amplifies her brilliance, Nike will be left writing sad press releases while wiping away tears with unused shoe designs. Because at the end of the day, greatness doesn't wait. Greatness doesn't beg. Greatness moves on. And if Caitlin Clark walks out the door, every other brand in the game will hold it open and offer her the keys to the whole damn building.